Hey guys, it's day 2 of the demo, so I wanted to walk through what's been done so far and share some things that I'm so glad I did, because hopefully these tips will be good for you. Okay, so first thing, we'll just walk on through. So this here, I'll do it this way, is the demo of the kitchen. So they got rid of the cupboards up there. You know, everything's removed, as you can see, and they've gotten rid of the countertops. Okay, so one thing I'm really glad I did is I went into my condo the following day, because it turns out there was a leak coming out by where the sink was, and my main valve needs to be replaced. So I'm so thankful I went over that morning, because there was water on the floor. I could put towels down right away, let my contractor know, like, hey, come over and fix this, please. So that's the first thing, is check on the renovation. I would say every single day. Yes, it's a pain, but it's totally worth it. The second thing I'm really glad I did, that I recommend you do, is install the Schlog lock. It tells you when people are entering or leaving your place. So when the contractor said, yeah, my guy's over there fixing the water leak right now, I could say, no, he's not, because the door is not unlocked yet. So I'll include a link to buy it below. I did so much research on locks to buy, and this was like the only lock that was easy to program, affordable, and that also looked good on the door. Okay, so that's the second thing to do. Okay, so then what I also am so glad I did is I noticed that they were smoking in my apartment, so I could just send them a quick email saying like, hey, please don't smoke in my apartment. Okay, the next thing that I did is I went through and I noticed that they started like prepping everything for the paint, which is great, especially in the bathrooms. Here's the problem though, is that I knew that I wanted some of these things to be removed. So I wanted this to be removed completely. I want to replace it. These shelves are going away. These shelves are going away here. And the light for the bathroom, I might eventually replace. So I wanted them to remove it completely so that they painted the whole thing. I noticed that they did not do this. So simple mistake. I understand why they would forget. But what I did, maybe this is a little bit paranoid, but I went through and put pieces of paper on everything, being like, hey, remove this, don't trash it. Remove these and trash them. I also put, just to be kind of careful on everything, I put the names of the colored paint I wanted. I wanted the white Dove paint, so that way there's like no question, they can't mess it up. And I let them know that I wanted the ceiling painted white. So I'm so glad I went through and did that, just in case they mess up. Same thing, I am getting new exhaust fans, because they're only like $10 on Amazon. So I told them to remove that, and same thing with the vents. I'm just gonna replace all of them because it's super easy. They would have to take them down anyway. So I left them notes saying like, hey, take this down. Either I'll buy them or my contractor will buy them just to replace them from Home Depot. So I would highly recommend you go through your place and just check on the work, write notes, make sure that they're doing everything you want them to do. Another example is, so I did talk to my contractor, and I'm so glad I did this, about removing all the face plates here and replacing them, because they're super cheap and that way they're white and new. But he didn't do everything. So some of the old funky ones where they're meant for like telephones, which nobody uses, they kept. So I want those removed and just covered with white solid face plates. So I put a note on them saying like, hey, remove this and replace with a white faceplate. So I'm glad I did that, just so that they know. Same thing with the smoke detectors. They're not super cheap, but they're pretty cheap to replace. I wanted white ones, not painted yellow ones. So same thing, I put a note on the wall saying, hey, remove this. I'm giving you new ones to install. Same with my alarm thing here. I want them to paint it white. So I just left a note. These are all things that I told my contractor, but it's a lot to remember. I'm the one that cares more about things, not them. So I just left lots of notes for him so that he was aware. And in case he has another crew coming in, they know like keep this, trash this. So one example was like a wine rack that I had. I said, remove this, do not trash. So just be super clear on what you want them to get rid of and what you want them to keep. Like I noticed that they still had this bad boy in my living room, which should have been part of the demo. I know they're still working on the demo. They're not done yet, but I just left a note just to be like super careful, make sure that they remove it. I wanted to make sure that they have everything that they need, that they don't have to redo any work, just in case there's any like communication gap. I verbally told my contractor all of these things, but I will say I don't think English is his first language, so I made sure that I texted him all of the paint colors, which I recommend you do, and then I just put the paint colors on each of the walls because I have several different paints and I want to make sure they know exactly what I want and don't mess up. So those are the key things I suggest you do on day 2 of a demo. Is go through a walkthrough every single day, either in the morning or after work, or honestly both. Go through, see what they did. If something doesn't quite look right, speak up right away. Definitely get the schlag lock on your front door so you know when they're coming and going, and just check up on the work. Also be super proactive, know when they need the materials. So like my contractor said that he needed paint this week, so I made sure to order that right away so that it was ready for him and not holding him up. I'll do another video on how to save money on paint. Believe it or not, I saved 30% on paint, which is a lot of money when you're buying 30 gallons of paint. So I'll do another video on that, but this was just to show you like the first, this is after 2 days of a demo. I think I have a really good contractor, let's hope. He seems to be really on top of it. Here's another example of like notes. I was like, hey, these mirrors are going away, and hey, I'm getting you a new thermostat. Side note, they also had turned the thermostat down to 60 degrees. So I'm glad I went in last night and I was like, oh my gosh, my electricity bill is gonna be crazy. So I set it to 74. Maybe I'll move it down to 73 so that when they come in, it's a little bit cooler for them. I just didn't want to spend a ton of money on electricity. So that's it. Let me know what you've noticed in my apartment. If you have any tips, if you have any questions about day 2 of a demo, this is hopefully gonna be done in a month. We'll see. I'll keep you updated. And if you thought this video was helpful, please subscribe below and leave a comment. I absolutely love comments. Thanks, guys.